This is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6.
18-year-old Tesluak Gotkuoth was lodged at the Lancaster County Jail for robbery and use of a weapon to commit a felony.
6 robberies over the weekend. One ends in an arrest. Good evening and thanks for joining us. We'll get to that story in just a moment.
First, the latest on some breaking news. We first brought you at 5 o'clock tonight. Crews are on the scene of a fire at La Mexicana Market and Restaurant near 16th and P.
That's where we'll find Channel 8's Laura Wilson. She joins us now live. Laura.
We are live here in downtown Lincoln, right here on the corner of 16th and P. Now, as you can see from this fire, it is still very active. Fire crews still trying to knock it down. You know, we're not sure where it started, but witnesses believe it did begin in La Mexicana Restaurant. A couple other businesses being affected as well. We have a Salt and Lounge, JRW Sales, All That Hair. A couple other businesses listed on the sign that may not actually be in business. Fire crews still have no idea how this fire started. We do have some updates for you as far as traffic goes. It is barricaded at 17th and O and on 11th and P. Traffic signals are entirely out at Centennial, and just a few minutes ago we were informed that 16th and Q as well as P Street up to Centennial are being blocked off. Now you can even see right now still a lot of smoke down in this area. As I said, details limited, although we do have several witnesses who are about to join us who saw this from the very beginning. Joining me first, why don't you tell me what happened?
So a few of my buddies and I just finished a big group presentation when we decided to go get a celebratory drink at the bar, and then when we started coming closer, we saw smoke coming nearby. We thought it might be the bar, and as we got closer, we realized it was coming from La Mex, and then things started to unfold, and then more and more smoke started to come out. It really wasn't that big in the beginning, and then all of a sudden we're at where we are right now.
Was it worse at any point before this? Does this look a little bit more tame than before?
I mean, it seems like it's been pretty much where it's at right now for the last half hour. I mean, there was some bigger points in the earlier parts of it that where when they first started putting water on it, where it was really spitting up a lot of smoke. But for the most part, it's been pretty consistent.
Okay, and sir, talking to you, you said that there were a number of people who were running, possibly evacuating out of the area.
Right. So I know people that live on the second floor above that building there, and I saw them frantically kind of running out. One of them had a red shirt on and khaki pants, and he looked extra worried. And then about 2 minutes later, I see firefighters go up on a ladder here, and they bust out a window, and they're all screaming, and they actually saved that man's dog out of that building. So that was pretty great to watch. And then I'm just glad. I mean, money can fix everything that was broken here, but I'm just glad so far as far as I can tell, everyone's safe and sound out of there. So.
Okay, thank you. And like I said, details still very limited. No injuries have been reported at this point. We are still seeing and hearing windows shattering behind us, and that's really about all we can tell you right now. We will have plenty of more details on our Facebook and website, as well as tonight at 10. Rod, Vanessa, back to you.
Yeah, we can see all that smoke wafting over, so Laura, make sure to stay safe out there. So as she mentioned, no injuries reported so far, but amazing story about a dog just saved, and certainly looks like those businesses have some pretty severe damage there.
And as she said, we'll have an update at 10 o'clock. In the meantime, though, I'm sure police and firefighters would appreciate it. People kind of stay away from that area of 16th and P. Sounds like it's going to be a mess as far as streets being closed. So anyway, another update coming up as we learn more. Let's get back to our other top story now. Lincoln police were busy responding to several robberies in the city over the weekend.
That's right. 3 of those robberies involving guns. 1 man behind bars. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Lauren Fabrizi has more on that. Lauren.
Well, imagine waking up to a gun in your face. That's what happened to a Lincoln man Sunday morning. Well, the suspect, who police say is responsible for that armed robbery, is in custody.
6 robberies over the weekend, 3 involving guns, 1 ending in an arrest. One of those was Sunday morning. Police say a 21-year-old man woke up to an unknown man pointing a gun at his face.
The suspect demanded money and drugs from the victim, then ordered him to the first floor of the residence at gunpoint.
It happened at a North Lincoln home just before 8 that morning. Police say the victim was able to escape to a nearby convenience store and call for help.
Meanwhile, a witness unaware of the robbery had also called LPD. The caller reported that several males were taking items from the home.
This man, 18-year-old Tesluak Gotkuoth, was arrested for robbery and use of a weapon to commit a felony. A 15-year-old was also involved. He's been referred to juvenile court. The night before that, an attempt to buy a phone led to a gun being drawn. It happened in this parking lot near 56 and Highway 2 around 11. Authorities say a 20-year-old man wanted to buy an iPhone. He'd seen the ad on Facebook. They say he was showing the seller money when the seller tried to punch him. He punched back. That's when police say the seller drew a gun, then got away with the cash meant for the phone. He's still on the loose. In a third armed robbery not much later. This time, two 18-year-old boys say they were stopped in their car by unknown men as they were leaving a Stop and Shop near 86th and Old Cheney. Police tell us their car was searched at gunpoint. The suspects got away with a pocket knife and some other items. Those guys also still on the loose.
Now, police are also investigating 3 other robberies from this weekend. Those ones were not armed. No major injuries there. The suspects are still on the loose.
Thank you, Lauren.
The latest now on a dog shot and killed by a Lincoln police officer over the weekend. We're also learning more about the dog's history. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Camilla Ortiz has more.
Routine police work turned into tragedy for some local dog owners Sunday night.
It's one of those things you keep asking yourself, did this really happen?
John Markey had to watch his 40-pound pointer mix puppy die after it was shot by a Lincoln officer who police believe acted in self-defense. Officer Jason Brownell was following up on an unrelated minor traffic accident at a home near 65th and Layton around 6:45. He was waiting outside on the sidewalk when Markey says his dog Max suddenly bolted.
He ran downstairs. He got past the screen door and ran to the officer.
The dog charged at Officer Brownell, jumped up on him in his chest area.
That's when Brownell fired 2 shots. Here's audio from the officer's pocket recorder.
Hey! Stop! 1379 shots fired at a dog.
This was the snap of your fingers, and this dog was on him.
Police Chief Jim Pashong says the audio supports what Officer Brownell reported. This photo taken by the police department shows a scratch on the back of his neck.
Oh my God! Sir, I'm sorry. He went after me. Sir, I'm really sorry.
Markey says he and his wife had just adopted the 1-year-old from the Humane Society a week ago.
I never had a problem with him going after somebody.
But the Humane Society says Max's history reveals that his previous owner had run-ins with law enforcement, and the dog was conditioned to not like police officers.
I can't hold the officer responsible. I think he just reacted to the situation put in front of him.
Markey says Max died on scene within a few minutes. Lincoln police are investigating to make sure all policies were followed. In Lincoln, Camilla Ortiz, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
A handgun was found in a backpack at an Omaha middle school. Police say the unloaded .38 caliber revolver was found at Nathan Hale Middle School. A student told a school counselor that a boy had the weapon. It was in his locker. The boy told police he found the gun in a garbage can. He was taken to the Douglas County Youth Center.
A reminder tonight, the tax deadline is only a couple of days away. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Marlena Thornton joins us now with more. Marlena?
This Wednesday is the deadline to do your taxes, but if you're submitting by mail, you may want to plan ahead. The deadline for filing taxes is quickly approaching. Wednesday, April 15th is the last day you can do them. And if you plan to mail them, you should be thinking ahead. Mail taxes have to be postmarked by that date. Last collection times vary around town, so you need to pay close attention in order to make the deadline.
They're mailing that through a blue collection box. They'll just want to make sure that they've deposited in that box prior to the last collection time that's posted on that box.
Electronically filing is the fastest way and is recommended by the IRS. Penalties do exist if you miss the deadline, and they depend upon your return. But if you're old-fashioned and prefer paper filing, experts say you should do it quickly.
The easiest way to make sure that you're filing on time and that you're not owing any kind of late filing penalties or late payment penalties is to make sure that you get it done early.
The latest collection time is at 7 p.m. Wednesday at the main post office in the Haymarket. The lobby closes at 6.
Probably the sooner the better that they can file their taxes if that's the situation. You know, obviously if everybody waits to the last minute, then the post offices become very busy in terms of our customer lobbies on that last day.
Once again, the tax deadline for both state and federal is this Wednesday, April 15th. You can file for an extension if you can't finish by the deadline.
All right, thank you, Marlena. If you have tax questions or you need help, we do have information on KOKNTV.com. Just click on this story.
Pour some sugar on me. That's what these 80s rockers once said. Yeah, they're headed to the capital city. Leppard will take the stage at Pinnacle Bank Arena Sunday, October 11th. The band will be joined by special guests Foreigner and Night Ranger. Tickets go on sale April 17th. Still ahead on the news tonight, the Nebraska bowling team captured another national title over the weekend. Hear from the team later in sports.
But first, Luke's in next with your 10-day forecast. Live look once again, downtown Lincoln near 17th and P. That fire, we'll have more on that a little bit later. But again, Luke's up next. Stay with us.
Now, your local forecast from Lincoln's own weather experts.
Well, the fire at 16th and P still underway. You can see it through our tower cam shot. Watch the time lapse that we have as this bubbles up and kind of works its way back down. Then it'll bubble up again. This is a 1.5 hour time lapse. And you can see the smoke really get thick and heavy at times. Looks like they might be getting on the better end of things now. Watch as it's a little bit diminished anyway with the smoke, but still certainly still underway with the fire that's in downtown Lincoln. Now let's talk about the weather. Satellite radar today is showing the rain has moved. We saw it last night, but there's the front that brought it. And you can see the storms that are still firing along that. In fact, even some severe weather down south. But that's where all the activity is gone. So back behind that, you can see here close to home, just a few clouds, all that we had seen. But look at the storm reports over the past 24 hours. As that front drifted its way through the Plain States, it had a lot of juice to work with in the atmosphere, and even one report of a tornado down near Medicine Lodge, Kansas. And then the hail that you see with the green dots, we had plenty of that, and then the blue reporting the high wind gusts. In fact, it was up in Colfax County. There was a report of golf ball size hail that had ripped screen doors off and also shattered some windows. So pretty serious storms just to the north of Lincoln last night. As far as rain went, we got 0.15 of an inch in the bucket out there at the airport. The rest of us, though, varied pretty wildly from about a trace at York to over an inch in Columbus. So you can see how widespread the differences are just depending on if you get that thunderstorm to pass over your location or just miss you. Highs today, warm into the upper 60s. We beat the normal today. Mid-60s out into York, 66 in Columbus as well. Temperatures right now in the upper 60s here in town. So 67, very dry atmosphere. Thankfully, winds are light. I've got to imagine that helps the firefighters there. It's only about an 8-mile-per-hour breeze out of the northwest. Normal high 64, records for today 89 and 15. Here's a look at your current temperatures. Mid-60s in York, 66 in Columbus. Most of us are either at or high or about 2 degrees off of our afternoon high temperature for the day. Let's pull a view out a little bit. Again, there's your front and really consistent temperatures back behind it. This high pressure works its way on through, so highs in the 60s today. Now tomorrow, a little bit warmer. This high moves eastward. We get more of a southerly wind. Going to be a little bit more breezy tomorrow, and we'll get a couple more degrees out of it. So highs near 70, but really temperatures staying fairly consistent until we get into Wednesday. We're going to drop back a little bit. You can see the green shading. That's going to be underneath some cloud cover as rain works its way on through for both Wednesday and Thursday. I'll show that here on Stormcast. Tonight, clear, dry, everything is quiet. A few passing clouds tomorrow. Other than that, a lot of sunshine for you on Tuesday yet again. Now watch Tuesday night and Wednesday. It's a weak system, much weaker than the one that we dealt with yesterday, but some spotty showers through our Wednesday afternoon and also Wednesday evening. Here it comes for Thursday as well. You don't see widespread rain, but some scattered showers through that period. So let's take a look at it with our rain chances through Wednesday. Again, tomorrow's dry, slight chance out west, best chances for the southeastern tip of the state, including Lincoln, and also right along I-80 and south for our Thursday with those scattered showers. Tonight, 42, clear and calm. South wind light at 5 to 10. Tomorrow, 70 your high temperature. Winds up a little bit out of the south at 10 to 15, and mostly sunny skies. 7-day forecast. Watch your temperatures really stay fairly consistent. Warmest day is Tuesday, both Wednesday and Thursday. More cloud cover, a little bit cooler. Highs to the lower to middle 60s there, and a low chance for rain on Friday with the upper 60s. Weekend temperatures remain pretty consistent. One chance at rain in there for Sunday, some spotty showers possible, and round it out with the 10-day forecast Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, still in the 60s. Keep it here. We'll be right back after the break.
Now, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, Sports.
Some very sad news to report tonight. Adrian Fiala has passed away. Adrian, a former Husker football and baseball player, spent over 35 years working in radio and television here in Nebraska. Fiala was 67 years old. We're still gathering the details, and we'll have more at 10. Also, we've just learned that according to the ABC affiliate in Bakersfield, California, former Husker Lawrence Phillips is under investigation as a suspect in the murder of his cellmate at Kern Valley State Prison. We'll have more on this at 10 as well. Well, switching gears, where Saturday's spring game left us with a few answers, but mostly questions. Also excitement and anticipation for the fall. One question we still have is who will be Tommy Armstrong's backup? Redshirt freshman Zach Darlington had an efficient day, going 7 for 11 through the air, and he tossed a touchdown. He looked poised, much more so than A.J. Bush.
I mean, I'm not saying that I did everything that I needed to do, but I do think that, you know, my goal going into spring was to work my way up. And I think I was able to work my way up, and I think that with going into fall camp, I think that now I'm going to be able to, you know, put my name in the conversation a little bit.
As the game even progressed and he got to play in it, he got more comfortable right within the game. And then by the time he threw his touchdown pass, I thought he was seeing things real well and playing very confidently, and he has a nice quick release, and he's a good athlete.
He came in and completed some passes, and he took off on a nice run. He played with a good pace, a good tempo. I liked the day that he had.
The Huskers will play host to South Alabama in Week 2. That game will be in prime time on BTN. The time has not been announced. The Nebraska baseball team holds steady at number 23 in the latest D1 baseball rankings. After being swept last weekend at Maryland, the Huskers won 3 of 4 last week, including 2 of 3 from Minnesota over the weekend. The Huskers finally got their mojo back at the plate.
It was a grind. It wasn't pretty at all. I mean, we got a 4 spot in the 7th and found a way to get it done, but that was a tight game. And today, you know, we came out and that was, you know, pretty good baseball. We didn't throw strikes like we normally do, but the boys came out at the plate and really swung it and set the tone.
It's big to get a big series win against a team like Minnesota because, you know, like you said, we had a tough weekend against Maryland. You know, we were a little down in Big Ten play after that sweep. So, you know, Coach Erstedt does a good job of, you know, keeping us from game to game, not taking one game too high or too low. So we just wanted to play game by game, just do what we do.
The 6-0 Royals at Minnesota this afternoon, opening day for the Twins. Royals down 1-0 in the top of the second. Kendrys Morales changes that with one swing of the bat. Solo shot to deep right center, second of the year for the former Twin. Tie ball game at 1. Now 2-1, KC in the 6th. Lorenzo Cain, the birthday boy, crushes one to right. Mike Moustakas scores. Cain gets to third. Royals up 3-1 later in the frame. Eric Hosmer launches one the other way off the wall. Cain scores easy. Royals win 12-3. They're now 7-0, the only remaining unbeaten team in all of baseball. Alex Gordon 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Connie Yori is searching for a new assistant coach. Shimmy Gray Miller took a job at Florida as an assistant. Neither school has made it official, but Shimmy's Twitter account has changed to assistant coach for the Florida Gators. The Nebraska bowling team won its 5th national title Saturday night, defeating Stephen F. Austin 4-2 in St. Louis. The Huskers were led by tournament MVP Julia Bond. It's the Huskers' first national title since 2013.
And Liz not waiting for anyone. She just...
I remember very, very vividly looking down at the trophy and just saying all the hard work paid off. And then looking at the SFA girls, those girls are some of the most classy individuals I've ever met. And I just remember knowing after that they were finished, I wanted to go over and congratulate them.
I guess I could say it now, but like everyone told us that you guys are just so good. And for us to like go in and like show everyone how good we are and to have a game plan and to go through with that game plan and have it be successful, like it's fun, it's cool.
Sad day in Husker Nation with the passing of Adrian Fiala. Shoot, I even remember Adrian when I was going to Wayne State in the early 2000s, before I even stepped foot in broadcasting or in Lincoln, calling baseball games on NET. And Adrian's touched so many people over the time as a Husker football and baseball player. He was good to us. I mean, he was down at spring training a few years ago when he was working at 93.7 The Ticket and sent a Royals spring training report for us. And It's going to be missed.
Boy, he lived and breathed Husker football, Husker sports. I enjoyed listening to him on the radio, and of course on Nebraska Public Television. He had the Husker show on there that he was a part of. So yeah, going to be missed. Thank you, Brett. Final check of the forecast now.
Welcome back. We've been bringing you live coverage of a huge fire during our 5 and 6 o'clock newscast. We want to get you back live to the scene near 16th, 17th, and P Street La Mexicana restaurant. 3-alarm blaze. Our Laura Wilson has been covering it live. Laura?
Vanessa, this block has now been barricaded off. This is as close as spectators can get. Still not sure what caused the fire. Like I mentioned before, witnesses do believe it started in La Mexicana restaurant, but we are not positive. That is not confirmed. Not a lot of new details, except to say it does appear fire crews have a better handle on this fire. Still visible flames, but not nearly as much as even what we saw at the top of this show. And again, no injuries reported at this point. We will continue to bring you more details on our Facebook, on our website, and again at 10 o'clock.
All right, I'm sure the damage is going to be up there. Other businesses affected at least by smoke and water damage. But again, the latest coming up at 10 o'clock. Let's get a recap of your weather with Luke.
Really fairly quiet. Yesterday was the kind of noisy day for us as we had the storms roll through. Tonight, quiet. 42, clear skies. Tomorrow, a good-looking Tuesday, 70. A little bit of a breeze, but sunny skies. More rain back in the picture, though. Wednesday and Thursday, scattered showers.
We are all out of time. The latest on that fire tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Have a good night, everybody.